Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Whitney and this is Come Home for Comfort, and today I'm going to do some meal prep with you. I originally filmed this video while I was talking to you, but it just did not flow very well, so I'm going to do a voiceover. I hope you don't mind that too much, and I hope that this is more helpful this way. So I'm going to show you 3 recipes that I did on a Saturday for the following week. So the first one I'm doing here is a chicken taco soup, and I made this in my slow cooker so that I could have it for lunches during the week. So the first thing I start with is 2 frozen chicken breasts that I just put in the crock pot, totally frozen. And then I'm going to add in a carton of chicken broth. I love the Fit and Active from Aldi. And there is a recipe on my blog that I will link to there for this chicken taco soup. Here, I'm not really following a recipe. I'm just putting in things that work well together. If you feel comfortable cooking that way, go for it. If you like using recipe, that works too. So there's the chicken broth. And then the next thing I'm going to add in is a can of these garlic and oregano diced tomatoes from Aldi. If your family does not like whole tomatoes, you can puree them or use crushed tomatoes. I love whole tomatoes in my soup, so I'm just going to put that in there. I think it makes a really good extra texture and flavor to have the whole can of tomatoes in there. The next thing is a little bit of green chili enchilada sauce. This is a new thing for me that I've been doing with my soup, and it's really good. I put about 3 tablespoons in here, but you can just do however much the recipe says or whatever you like, how hot or how spicy or not you like it. But it adds kind of a creamy texture to the soup as well. It's really, really good. And then I'm going to add in a can of rinsed and drained black beans and let that cook. Once it's all done cooking, I will mix in a can of whole kernel sweet corn. I don't like to cook the corn in the crock pot because it makes it a little chewy. So I'm gonna let this cook until it is all done, and then I will shred the chicken with 2 forks or however you like to shred your chicken. There you go. The next thing I'm going to make is a breakfast casserole. I like to make these on Saturdays and then have them for us to eat on during the weekend and then leftovers throughout the week. I don't freeze egg dishes. I don't think they defrost very well, but the whistle I'm going to make starts with garlic, some potatoes. I'm going to bake this in the microwave and then put it in the casserole. This is a recipe I believe I have linked to my blog as well. It's really, really good. I'm going to use some mini peppers, the sweet peppers from Aldi, and I have some chicken breakfast sausage also from Aldi. It's really good. I love that it's already cooked. It makes it a little bit easier. And then some cheddar cheese, and of course eggs, if I didn't already say that. And then milk. I use vanilla almond milk because I can't taste the vanilla, but if you like plain milk or whatever you have on hand, just use that. So I'm just going to get my potato in the microwave and cook it up a little bit and then chop up the veggies. I just set up the camera while I was cooking this day and just brought you along with me, so here we go. I take a spoon and just scoop out the seeds from the peppers like that and then chop those up. And then I'm going to get them over in a little bit of olive oil on the stove and cook those down just a little bit. And while that's cooking, I also have a bag of brown rice, the boil in a bag brown rice that I'm going to use for my chicken tortilla soup once that is done. I'm going to chop up this cooked sausage. You can use whatever you have on hand or whatever you have leftovers. If you have bacon, if you have leftover ham from a meal, whatever you like to use. Ham, bacon, sausage, any of that works really well. And then since I didn't use the entire package, I'm just going to put it in a Ziploc bag and then put that in a freezer bag and throw it in the freezer so that I can pull it out even just one little link at a time if I need it. And that stores really nicely in the freezer. So then here's a little tip. Once you bake the potato in the microwave or even in the oven, the skin, once you let it cool a little bit, because as you can see, it's very hot, it cools a little bit, then the skin peels off very easily. And you don't have to peel it before you bake it. It just comes off really nicely, and then you can chop it up and get the flesh out that you need. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my eggs all whisked up. The recipe I think calls for about 8 eggs, but I'm just doing as many as I think I'm going to need. That's the thing about recipes like this, where you can just adjust them to what you need or what your family likes. Some recipes like souffles or whatever are a little more particular, but this recipe that I'm using is very easily adjustable for whatever you need, and I really like that about the recipe. Of course, you could add anything else that you liked. You could add spinach or tomatoes or a different kind of pepper, whatever you liked, a different kind of cheese. I like to put feta cheese in my eggs sometimes, but this recipe calls for cheddar cheese. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. get the eggs whisked, and then so you can see I just peeled all the skin off the potatoes, and then I'm going to chop them up, and you can see the kitty tail right there also. There's always a cat in my videos, so we're keeping it real for you. There's always a cat somewhere in the background. Okay, so I'm going to chop up the potato, and then that gets mixed in with the cooked sausage and the peppers. Add the cheese on top, and then I'm going to spray my dish, add the meat, and then the egg layer, and that is it. One more thing I wanted to show you, and that was these smoothie packets that I make. They're super easy to put together. If you have fruit going bad, this is a great way to use it up. I always start with a banana, so I've got a banana in the bottom here, and then I chopped up some oranges that I had that I wanted to use. So you could use strawberries, blueberries, whatever fruit you have on hand that you want to put in your smoothie. So I chopped that up, and then I also chopped up some spinach. Again, spinach, if it's going to go bad, just throw it in the freezer like this. It's a great way to use it up, or if you have good spinach too, that always works. And then I put in a little bit of this blend from Aldi. This is the tropical blend, and I just used the yellow fruit that's in here, but it has mango, pineapple, papaya, and strawberries in there. I didn't put any strawberries in this though. And just chopped it all up in there. So then when I want to make a smoothie, all I do is just dump this out, add a little bit of water, or you could put almond milk or juice, whatever you wanted. And then I add a few scoops of yogurt, or you could put protein powder in there just to make it a little more filling. And there you go. So these hang out in the freezer, I don't know how long. I usually only keep them in there for about a week at a time, just because I use them frequently. So it's great to have these on hand for quick smoothies in the morning. I also went ahead and washed and cut up all the rest of the peppers so that I have them ready to go for the week. I'm not going to put them in individual containers because I'm not sure how I'll use them, but when I need them, they are ready. Here's the rice that I made, the brown rice, and once the soup is all done, I'll just add some of this to the containers that I'm going to take with me to work. My egg casserole is all done. It's all set on top. It's nice and brown. It looks really delicious. So I'm just going to let this cool, and then I'll put it in the fridge, and then we'll eat on it this weekend, and then have it to eat on for the rest of the week. All right, my soup is all done. I added in the corn, I shredded up the chicken, and I'm going to just put it in these individual freezer containers. I got these at Aldi, but you could use whatever container, whatever you're going to eat them in, and just put them in the containers like that. And then the rice that I made, I put in little individual bags, and I'll freeze that along with it, and then heat them up separately and mix it in so that the rice doesn't get kind of icky.
You'll notice with great care the left-handed ladle scoop. Notice the consistent white tubs from the dollar store.
I hope you enjoyed that little insertion from Paul. He just had to give his 2 cents. He's so funny. So he's pointing to down below. You can find the recipes and link to my blog post with all the other information. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.